While I'm waiting, I'm going to say that a couple of things. Number one, this may take more than one, may very possibly, considering the fact that I'm probably at about 10 minutes and YouTube only allows me to have probably, a 15-minute video max, I think it is, or between 10 and 15, I don't even know. In fact, I should probably call this the end of this vlog already and do part 2, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how we're doing when I get done with this part, but this is probably going to take multiple parts, so just plan on that. Number two, it should be common knowledge by now, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that I'm blind, and so if I end up with crappy video quality, picture quality, that's just the way it is. I'm sorry, but I'm not really all that sorry, because it's the way of the world. Well, I don't know if it's the way of the world, but it's reality. I can't make good picture qualities when I can't see, I can't look in the viewfinder. I don't know, I should probably put the camera, like, over here so you can see me a little bit better. I can't do that. So, the picture may well suck. That's just all there is to it. But if picture sucks maybe even worse than usual, it's probably because I've either put my camera in my pocket just because habitually that's what I tend to do with these devices, or because I didn't think to switch it to the front facing and it defaults to the back facing for some reason. Actually, that might be for the best in some cases, because if you're looking at the floor instead of anyone's faces, I suppose that's a great way to withhold people's identity. But on the other hand, if I don't want people, if I'm not sure that things should be on YouTube, then I really shouldn't record, should I? So, but anyway, yeah. For some reason, these devices default to the back-facing camera, and sometimes I either don't have time or don't think to, especially if I'm going to start using iMovie and just kind of vlogging. I'm not always going to think to or have time to screw around with the camera and figure out, oh my God, is it front-facing or back-facing? I'm just going to turn this stupid thing on. So, yeah. I refuse to promise ever that the picture's going to be perfect, but if in certain parts of vlogs or whatever all you can see is the floor, it's probably because I'm still in back facing and I didn't think to or didn't have time to switch it up. Gee, Apple, is there a reason why you default this stuff to back facing? I mean, everybody cited who's watching, which is probably 99% of YouTube. Well, that's not fair. 89% of YouTube. Do you always use the back-facing camera? I just think that's weird, but I'm not sighted, never have been sighted, so I have no idea how the sighted world works. Good morning, everyone. It's not really the greatest morning right now, but things will get better. They better get better. I mean, actually, the morning's barely started, but it started, well, it started kind of on a bad note late last night, early this morning, whatever. When now even my phone, I mean, it's one thing for the iPhone 6 to do this, and I realize that that's really a bigger screen than what I like anyway, and I decided, well, I'll go back to the iPhone SE. Now, the iPhone SE is doing the same thing that the 6 did. It just froze up, locked up, not responding, not doing anything. I try to hard reset it, it won't do that. I try to power cycle it, won't do that. I try to call my own phone number, it goes straight to voicemail. I am done. I'm done with technology that won't work. I mean, I that doesn't mean anything. There's nothing I can do, but they're gonna get so sick of me over at that Mac store. or Simply Mac, or whatever they call it. I'm going to go to my grave calling that thing the Mac Store, because it's going to take forever. I mean, I don't expect to die anytime soon, but it's going to take me forever to learn how to call that thing the Mac, or the Simply Mac. After it was the Mac Store for, good Lord, when did I get my first iPod? 2009, 2010, something like that. 2000. Not whatever. It's 2016. I've been calling that thing the Mac Store for 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. Now they switched it up to Simply Mac on me. It's going to take me a long time to learn. Whatever you want to call it, they're going to get so sick of me, because as soon as I get done saying, okay, great, that's taken care of, I'll say, by the way, since we're here, I mean, I have to. Because there's no way I'm going to just let this phone just exist like this. If I've got to change to the iPhone 6 temporarily until I get my other one back working again. But iPhone 6 or iPhone SE is barely even the point. I need a phone that's going to work. And I mean keep working. I mean, I have never had this happen since, let's see, what was my first iPhone? The 3S, 4? I think I really kind of embraced iPhones when they were the 4. I went from 4 to, let's see, 5 to now 6, back down to 5 SE. And I've not had this happen. Let's see, I really embraced the iPhone in 2011, I think. And it was only 2015, August or September 2015, when I started having these problems. This was 4 years of iPhones actually working reliably. Reliably compared to this. I mean, they had their quirks from time to time, but it was hardly ever anything that power cycling it, in other words, turning it off and turning it back on again, couldn't fix. I have never had such a cycle of problems with iOS devices since I switched to the 6. And now here in the past couple of weeks, I have just been, every time one piece of technology was resolved, another crapped out on me. I mean, I'm not serious about this, but part of me really wonders if somehow I've fallen under some kind of a curse, a spell of techno failure or something. I mean, I'm not serious. I mean, I don't really think I have, but I mean, just because I don't really believe in stuff like that, but you'd never know it by the way everything's been behaving lately. Why is all this happening, and what am I going to do to make it stop? I cannot keep having this stuff happen. I can't live like this. I need machines that work, period. Pretty busy day today. I'm going to Simply Mac, first of all, to get my iPhone 6 back, and basically, I hate to say this, but if I have to, I'll trade you dead iPhone SE that needs to be fixed, and if you gotta keep it for functioning iPhone 6. And how do I get my iPhone 6 to get all my to get phone functionality back so I can function with it? That really, honestly, that has to be my highest priority today. As it is now, I mean, of course I wasn't counting on this happening when I set my rides up. my plan was to pick this stuff up and go to, well, this location. I'm not going to talk about this location or what's going on. Well, there's supposed to be well, let's just say I'm going somewhere for lunch. It's not a restaurant, but it's a going to the Mac store, or Simply Mac, or whatever the thing's called, going to lunch, going to the bank. Those were my priorities today. Easy set of errands for the average person, but for a person that can't drive or use city buses, it becomes more complicated. But if I end up having to go to the Verizon store and having to call, thank God I have my prepaid AT&T phone that I planned, that I reactivated, planning to use it as, let me dig that out, as the way to contact the lift at the meeting place for our meetings at work where Verizon reception sucks. I'm going to have to fall back on that for phone calls today, I think. Maybe, possibly. Unless the Simply Mac can breathe the life back into it, and I mean for good. I don't mean for 5 hours, like they did with the Apple Watch on Sunday. We got that thing alive again for about 5 hours, and then died all over again. And I couldn't bring it back, and I got it back in here, and they had to keep it for a day. I mean, if they gotta keep it, then they gotta keep it. If they don't, I mean, whatever, but, I need something to work. No matter what happens, I need something to work once and for all. What? And with that said, I told you this was going to happen. I'm going to call this the end of this vlog because we're already at 13 minutes. I'm going to call this the end of this part of the vlog. And I will see you in part 2